Okay, so I told you I wasn't gonna make this dull and boring, and so I've got about 40 questions for, I'm just kidding. Totally
Great,
kidding.
I'm ready.
40 questions. Question one, how long has all of this been your passion?
Oh, I mean, it depends on what you mean by this, but ever since I was a little kid, I've been in the dirt.
Okay.
If that's kind of what you mean.
Playing in the dirt since you were a kid?
Since I was a little kid, my mom's always had a garden, so it's been in my blood my whole life. But houseplants has been a little bit of a newer thing. I started off in college. I have a degree in environmental science, and I studied urban agriculture specifically.
Okay.
And then after that, I worked for a wholesale indoor garden supply company, where that's kind of where it started, because I got access to things like hydroponic systems and grow lights, and I was like, oh, look at all these cool things that you can do with plants indoors. And then that's sort of what triggered houseplants and my pursuit of business. And
That's the name urban, right? Because not a lot of people have the garden to play with, right?
Yes.
I mean, we've all played in the dirt as kids, but you just apparently haven't stopped playing in the dirt.
Still playing in the dirt every single day. That's
I
what
come
do.
here and I watch people come in here, and like when you guys get in the dirt, and I was just like, oh my God, no, I don't want to do that at all.
Well, you're the perfect clientele then.
Yeah, so
If you
just
don't-
let you guys do it.
Yeah, if you don't want to do it, you just bring it here and I'll do it.
What is your favorite plant, like house plant wise? Like, because there's some plants that I've purchased myself that I've killed pretty quickly. And then also there's other plants that I've bought where I can't seem to kill it.
Personally, I like plants that don't need a lot of attention from me, because I spend so much of my time tending to other people's plants that my tried and true are things like Aspidistra, which is also called the cast iron plant, or Dracaenas.
Cast iron plant?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a term for it can't be killed, or?
It's actually, I actually have one right here.
Oh, pull it out. What do we got? So this one you can't kill.
Pretty much. They call it a cast iron plant because, much like your cast iron pan, if you somehow manage to mess it up, which is really hard to do,
You just pull it back.
you just mow it down and it'll start over. It likes.
Oh, you literally just.
You just cut it down. It can handle high light, low light, doesn't need a lot of water, can handle lots of temperature, and that's the kind of plant I need in my life.
Now, low light, could I put it in the basement and not give it any light?
It needs some light.
Okay.
All plants need some light, but
If my studio wasn't in my basement, I would have a lot of your plants, but all of mine are plastic or Lego. Are these grow lights at all? Like the ones up here, or are those just for show?
pretty much every light in the store is a grow light.
No way.
Yeah,
I
just
thought you were
about.
just making them all pretty and like had a nice kind of glowing. So they were a
It's-
specific type of UV emitting light. This is a big one.
Okay.
Try to remember. What was your first sale? And do you have like that dollar just like on the wall somewhere?
My first sale in this business.
I'll let you go back further, because I don't think like I could tell you the same thing, like when was the first time I got my first sale in the studio, but when was like the first sale like that said, oh, I think I got something here.
Oh man, so I've been entrepreneurial since I was a kid. I would think.
You sold dirt.
I did not sell dirt, actually. My first venture outside of I would like clean houses and babysit and stuff, but when I was in high school and college, I ran a little business on the side. It was called Stars of Plenty.
Okay.
And I made lanterns out of rice paper and balsa wood that were shaped like stars, and they had candles inside of them.
Okay.
Like battery candles. And my first sale, I sold some to a shop to resell. And that was pretty
Nice.
cool, because I had put some work into it, and then I got like $120 or something for the set of them.
But being like, I'm assuming that having somebody like say, oh yeah, we'll sell your stuff in our shop was just like,
Yes, that was when I was like, ooh, I can trade my time and skills for money.
that's insane. Okay, that one was an easy one, I guess. I made it the hardest one. The last one, if there was one, and I know for myself, there was like 2 or 3 hurdles, right? So like, what was the moment where you decided, oh, okay, I'm gonna do this? Like, for example, like opening this space. And I mean, I'm thinking that the amount of work put into this, and then obviously waiting for people to walk through the door, like what was the moment that you were like, I gotta do this. This is it.
The version of this story is probably a little different for me, because the thing that pushed me to do my own thing was sort of in spite of somebody else.
Okay, interesting.
So which is not typically my MO, but it was the fodder that I needed to get started.
Okay.
The company that I worked for right after college was run by this guy, and he was clearly at a transitional point in his life and wasn't doing the best job, and I came into this company to sort of help get things back on track.
Was he the owner or manager?
He was
or-
the owner
Okay.
of this small company. I felt like I was really investing a lot in his company, and the pay was not great, which I understand as a young business is difficult, but they were paying other people in the company that were doing far less a lot more, and I asked for a raise, and basically he said no. That's kind of when I decided, okay, well, if he can do it, then I can do it for myself.
There you go.
And it's not the most glamorous story, but
That's when we would say, like, one thing led to another, and now we're standing in here with all these plants and right.
Yeah, and
so it was in spite of someone. You were like, fine, I got it. I'll do it myself. If you weren't doing this, what would you do? And don't say, like, spend more time with family, or I'd be sitting on a beach somewhere. Like,
oh gosh, no.
I assume you're similarly hardwired that we are, where it's just like, I'd probably be working until I drop dead.
Yes.
So, but if
Yeah.
it wasn't plants, where would you go?
You know, I've really found a lot of pleasure in helping other businesses. Like if I can help other people avoid some of the mistakes that I have made in my beginning journey, then I'd probably do something like that, like maybe like small business consulting or
That sounds riveting.
something. I know, really riveting. I don't know. But you're right. People who are entrepreneurial tend to, we can't
stop.
we can't stop.
8 days a week, 48 hours a day,
Yeah.
right? And then you get up and do it again and again and again.
So I would find something else to do. I don't know what it would be if it wasn't plants.
Just a different plant.
Different plant.
Right.
It might be easier to work with inventory that wasn't alive.
I would say, as far as a good ending, I bet you would probably be really good at selling dirt.
I bet I would be really good at selling dirt.
Well, I think that's a good end. So now I have a video to put together.